Joining us with reaction. She's the counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway. I thought of everybody on the cover of the Post tomorrow, I thought you looked the best.
I didn't even see it yet. I'm looking into a blank camera. I'm in suspense.
I will text it to you.
Thank you for noting that the thank you that the Loch Ness monsters of the swamp are always going to try to get in the way of this president and his agenda. I don't know what they were expecting. He said, like all those senators said, I'm going to repeal and replace Obamacare. Sean, if I showed you all of those senators, all those members of Congress who ran successfully on repealing and replacing Obamacare, there were no asterisks, no footnotes, no bibliographies, no maybe, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It was very straightforward. I can show you their paid advertisements. I can show you them in 16 different shots at podiums, in with the crowd, pledging to repeal and replace Obamacare straight up. Now, the one person who's keeping that promise is Donald Trump. He's been here for 6 short months, got pen in hand. They've been talking about this for 7 years, 4 consecutive election cycles. While he was busy being a successful businessman in New York and around the globe, they were promising their constituents. It's not just a campaign promise, it's a moral imperative. And I also want to point something else out tonight. Whether they have an all-nighter, whether it goes, whenever it goes to conference, I want America to know not a single Democrat is helping. In fact, the Republicans offered a single-payer amendment tonight to get a vote on where the Democrats say our country is headed with respect to health care. Do you know how many votes it got? This is not A-OK. This is 0. And 4 or 5 Democrats voted against it, and then the rest of the Democrats voted present. They might as well have been out to dinner because they're certainly out to lunch. They're not lifting a finger to help the 6.5 million Americans who forked over $3 billion to the IRS rather than get basic Obamacare coverage. They're not helping those who have suffered because 83 insurers have fled the markets with dozens more promising to do so. They're not helping people to meet the cost of these premiums, the people who have the worst possible outcome, a ridiculous, quote, insurance card that they can't use because the premiums are too high. So I want America to remember who stood up, kept promises, and tried to help the people who've been left behind. In that White House, people come once a week, Obamacare victims. And we've met them personally, the president, the vice president, others have met with them personally. Their stories are real, they're raw. Do you know the mainstream media still puts them in, quote, Obamacare, quote, victims? Folks, they're real. You want to go cover intrigue? Go talk to those people. Ask them what's happened to them and their families since they had their hours cut, their wages cut, their jobs cut, their health care benefits cut. They've been suffering for years, and this president stands ready to repeal and replace and give those people the relief that they deserve.
I got a note from a friend of mine and who spoke with a prominent Democrat who said, a skinny bill? A Democratic representative, top one, says it's a dream come true because it eliminates all the things in Obamacare that Americans hated and leaves all the structure for the ACA intact. It is inexplicable that we have a party in the Senate that basically has become the, let's put paper, water on toilet paper, throw it up against the wall when they could be pushing health savings accounts and health care cooperatives and driving down premiums and increasing care and getting rid of the monstrosity and offering competition and choice. Sorry, Kellyanne, but that's, as a conservative, those are the things that I believe deeply in, and that's what the president has talked about.
That's right. Well, the president talked about it just this week in several different addresses. And like I said, the skinny repeal was not, I never heard that phrase when these members of the House and Senate ran successfully on, quote, repealing and replacing Obamacare. I didn't hear them say slim at the edges, cut and shave here and there. And I think this is why, frankly, the Congress has such a low approval rating. You know, the Congress's approval rating and the media's approval rating are far below the president's approval rating. They just don't cover it as much.
All right.
And that's because people are looking for relief.
All right, Kellyanne, always good to see you. Thank you for being with us when we come back.
Did you want to cover anything else? Did you want to cover anything else?
Oh, yeah. Anthony and what's going on there. Is there anything else to talk about? I already talked about it. I said you were the best-looking person on the cover tomorrow.
Gee, thanks. But look, I just want to say one thing. Yeah. Anthony said he uses colorful language. I think he's passionate about the president. It sometimes gets the best of him. But let me know when any of my colleagues in the West Wing call half of the country deplorable and irredeemable. Then we'll talk. Let me know when they look America in the eye and lie to them that they can keep their plan or keep their doctor if they'd like to. Then we'll talk. I'm glad he talked about his colorful language. I'm very happy to serve with whomever the president puts in the West Wing with me, but we all have to be together in service of the president's agenda. We weren't elected to anything. Donald Trump, Mike Pence elected, the rest of us serving the country. Thank you, Sean.
Kellyanne, Sarah Carter, Jay Sekulow.